friends since 1997. So we were from a kind of a same kind of a spiritual kind of family where we began the journey. And when the ashram where we met, it was about to start, the one who went to the master to start the ashram, he was asked, why there are so many ashrams around, why do we want one more? And then he said that Gurukulam, the ashram, it is a place of neutrality in a world full of insanity. So when we come to a place, we feel neutral, we feel connected. And because outside everywhere what we experience is insanity. So probably learning or getting inspiration from that, Anand began this suggestion. And so that when we all, as I was listening to you all, like I hear that, when we come here we feel grounded, we feel a sense of peace, feel a sense of kind of some alignment deep within ourselves. And you made it, Anand, so kudos to you for that. Yeah. And I don't travel with any pre-plan. So, but when I hear that Arun is kind of choreographing, I would say, kind of a film festival, if I'm around, I definitely would like to be there. Because the sensitivity with which he chooses the film. And I remember once after a film, somebody was mentioning about the violence, and a couple of films were full of violence. And he said, it's part of us. I said, wow, that's true. I am violent inside me. So it's a kind of an expression of that internal reality which is brought by him. And so again, once again, I salute you for the beautifully choreographing these things. Personally, when I began so-called travel, and we all are travelers with a different way, we define our travel and then we explore that dimension and we come to our own experiences, or rather we design our experience when we are traveling. So that being the reality, just the kind of travel which I do these days, just before that I happened to come across Lao Tzu's Tao teaching, and I randomly opened the book and it said, a good traveler has no fixed plan and has no intention upon arriving. Again, a good traveler has no fixed plans and has no intention upon arriving. I said, wow, that's interesting. So we set or started a travel, it does not mean that we have to arrive it. I'm heading for Sadarshi, it does not mean that I have to arrive here. Maybe I met something or somebody on the path that can just give me a different deviation, and probably something amazing is waiting for me there also. So when I began, I said, it's nice. So all my travel has been like that. I'm not supposed to be here today. And I'm supposed to be living and catching a bus 5:30 in the morning. And I thought Anand said that Baba Challabiraya is here and he will be here. Today morning only he is leaving. And I was waiting for him. And then later he left. So that's what it is, that's what I'm here. So this is the way a good traveler is, like that. Because a person defined or designed that I'm here today. And for me, when I started off, I just wanted to say, all say that India is a unique country. People come from all over the world to see the land. And what is that? And I don't travel much outside kind of Kerala. And then I took off once in 99 with a little money in my pocket. I started in Kanyakumari. And I traveled through the eastern part of India. And I went to Assam, Arunachal, Meghalaya, and then, of course, Orissa, and then Bodh Gaya, Varanasi, Allahabad. And through that I came to Haridwar, Rishikesh, then went to Uttarakashi, Gangotri, Gomukh, Tapovan, back down there to Himachal Pradesh, through Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Rajasthan, Gujarat. Like that I came to Chennai and I went to Andaman Nicobar Island. It was a journey of 8 months. And when my travel kind of culminated in Kanyakumari, I had the same amount of money in my pocket as started with. They say Vasudeva Kutumbakam, India is kind of, the whole world is one family. And I experienced. It could be in Bihar, it could be in Uttar Pradesh, it could be in Rajasthan. So people are welcome. people have a heart to just probably recognize a traveler with all the intensity to know oneself, to dive deep into our own inner recesses of our mind, to know what are the pearls hidden within. So when that happens, we are taken care. And that's what exactly Lord Krishna probably is offering in Bhagavad Gita, like that Sarvadharman Paridhyajya. Just began looking for me. And then it is my duty to look after, take care of you. What do you need? We need a couple of dress, a little bit of food, and not necessarily a roof over us. There are caves under the tree. It will be perfectly safe. Once a bird may shit on it, that's okay. We can wash it. This water somewhere available nearby. So it didn't matter. So that made me actually a traveler. So it was 1999 I'm talking about, and I have not stopped. And I don't have a kind of a permanent places where I stay constantly, but just I returned after 10 months being in the Himalayas, because I went to Himalayas for the first time, and suddenly I felt I am home. I was there in Rishikesh. There's a place called Munikireti. Munikireti means the sand of the sages, rishis, Muni, one who is Mauna, one who is transcended the mind, and the sand on which he or she walked. So Munikireti, I'm just there, and suddenly kind of, I said, like that, somebody's clapping, like that, I was called by a Swamiji like that, and he's asking, did you eat something? It was not the kind of lunch, because lunch usually they have only 2 meals in Rishikesh. It's 11 o'clock and it's 6 o'clock, 6:30. And it was almost 2 o'clock. So then I thought, I said, no, I did not have any food. He said, come, and then he fed me. And then there is a term in Hindi, asan lagao. When we go to a place, suppose an ashram or dharamshala, so when you reach there, you put a mat there, and you put your bag there, it is your asan. Till you leave the place, it's yours. Nobody will remove it or take it from there. So then he said, asan lagao. I didn't know that term that time, but then later I understand that you just put your bed, and then there it is your place till you leave the place like that. So I was traveling from somewhere Bengal side, so I was really tired, and then he said, rest, you can go out. And then at 6 o'clock you have to come back, because we have the aarti here, and then followed by the dinner. And I'm just walking after having that fulfilling meal, and suddenly I felt I'm home. I just walked in here, and I'm given a place to stay. I'm fed, and I'm home. So that's a feeling in thousands of places I felt in our country. So it is indeed a Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and we all are travelers. We are traveling towards something called death.
Exactly.
And the question arises, did I live?
Exactly.
Or am I alive? And lying in the deathbed, if we say that, if one has to say to oneself, oh, I did not enjoy it, struggle and darkness and confusion, nobody else you can blame but yourself. Knowing that, what do we do today in order to enjoy I would say we all are pilgrims on this planet, What do we do today in order to enjoy the time and the body and the situation we are given, and lying in the deathbed, to tell to oneself that, wow, it was an amazing time. I enjoyed this particular time and climb visiting the planet Earth. If that cannot be said to oneself, I'm sorry. So the invitation is just to ensure that we begin opening our hearts and start embracing life with a new perspective, with a new kind of openness to our senses, because always the birds are singing. When our mind is tuned to that, only we listen back. Always there is wind is there, but then we don't experience that because we are busy in our mind, thinking about something like that. We don't taste our food because mainly we are watching our YouTube videos and then we are eating the food. So all these are very precious because we have the senses, and the inference, the mind draw from our senses. And what do we do with our senses? This is also part of a travel. And there are mountains of jealousy, anger, fear, and all those things alive in our being, in our heart, in our mind, in our essence. That's also a journey. So there is an external journey, and parallel is an internal journey to discover what is hidden within us. And we come to a substratum of our being in which we say to ourselves, it is beautiful to be alive.